Facebook. Make sure we're good to go. Good morning, everybody. Good morning for our Monday movement. Excited to be on with you guys today. Just want to get over here real quick. Make sure we got a live feed going on before I go all crazy on our topic today. And I see that we do. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Nikki. Good morning, Chris. What's up, Chris? Superhero Chris. Hey, Chris, I hope you saw my post because Stephen Amell got his wish. He told him I have one wish before I go, and it was definitely to have our girl come back. That's what I'm talking about. Woo! Olicity fan right here. We got my girl coming back to the show. I'm like, come on. They both made the arrow. Hold on, I'm all moving this camera here. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Chrissy. Good morning, Dina. So glad you guys are with me. Good morning. Let me know if the mic is good to go. Let me know. Gonna start my clock here. Good morning, everybody. And if you're joining me, if you could please share this particular one, how Stella or Stan got his groove back, got her groove back. Woo! A great movie. If you've not seen it, you need to stop, drop, and roll, and you need to go and see it. It is really, really, really good, you guys. Good morning, everybody. Just going to wait about another minute and a half just to give an opportunity if anybody else is going to join us. They get a chance to join us today for our topic. This is episode number 10 of our 12-week series, which has been The Beauty and the Beast, the good, bad, and the ugly of life, love, and relationships. And we're coming to the close, you guys. We're coming to the close. And we're getting ready for our workshop that we have coming up on Tuesday, November 12th. And again, I'll make sure to tell you how you guys can get registered, because you can get registered right here. Okay, we're just going to, again, wait another minute to give everybody an opportunity to hop on with us. Make sure to get my Facebook up here. Good morning, everybody. So glad you joined me. If you're joining me, please hit share just so we can get this out to other people as well. And again, just going to wait another minute before we get started. Excited about our topic, how Stella or Stan got their groove back. You know, we've been building so much in this series. And again, like I said before, I love what Christy said. Christy talked about how it's, you know, started off kind of like a party, and now it's getting deeper and deeper, and it's closing out November. I actually have November the 12th here, which is with our sex and intimacy workshop. It's a Tuesday evening. You guys, we're going to do 8:30 p.m. All you have to do is to get registered right here, is to put your email address right here, you guys. And I want to share this to my page. Let's see if I can log on over here to my personal page, because we still have a lot of people who maybe didn't get that notice that we're now going to be going live over here. So I'm hoping that they're able to get that eventually. Let's see here, you guys. Let me share to my personal page, and then we're going to go ahead and get started with our Monday movement. Hopefully everybody had a good weekend. I know that I did. It was my anniversary weekend. Really, really good weekend. Saturday was a little tough, but we'll talk about that another day. There we go. Let me hit share over here. I want to share it to my personal page. Let's see here. Join in. I'm going to put my little title up here, How Stella Got a Groove Back. And welcome, YouTube, if you're joining me live today. So glad that you guys are able to join in also. Here we go. How Stella got her groove back. I love that. This is episode 10, you guys. Really excited for our Monday movement. All righty, join us now. There we go. Let me go ahead and post that to my personal page here, my timeline, and we can get started. You guys, I am really excited about today's topic, just because I think it's fitting no matter what. I think so many of us go through changes in our life, and a lot of times we end up being in a position of, as someone said to me in a coaching session last week, where you're just left, you feel, with the bags in your hand. You thought you were going somewhere, you thought your life was going to go in a different direction, or you were definitely on an airplane to the love island. And then all of a sudden, when you got ready to leave, or when things felt like you were about to board, or you even got on the plane because you felt like this was it, before you know it, the plane didn't take off, and you've got your bags in your hand. The second thing that I'm going to tell you, heartbreak, mending and healing from past relationships is one of the hardest things to do. Whether it is, like we talked about last week, the loss of a loved one, someone who has passed, or it's a divorce. And how do you even, start from that when, two became one, and now you feel like a whole other side of you. Some people feel like their whole identity is lost. And especially depending on that relationship as well, as we talked about in the past with codependency, that can be a very hard place to be, really devastating place to be as well. And then of course, when it comes to a heartbreak, dating someone, being engaged to someone, and having people come into your heart, not just your life, developing a vision of what life is going to be, trusting that person, giving them your heart and feeling like they're going to guard it as well, making plans for the future, no longer looking at life as just a you. This is now your life, and everything that you do is about a we. And then that feeling that we can get in relationships where we exhale, another one of Terry McMillan's movie, Exhale, Whitney Houston and all of them. Angela Bassett was in there too. And just when you exhale and you feel like this is it. And it's a hard place to get to where you now stand on your 2 feet and you're solid. And not only that, you feel good about it. That's a hard place to get to, because heartbreak and loss and that kind of pain can break your whole foundation. Well, today I want to talk a little bit about a topic that I think is really important. And again, if you're joining me today, please share. It's how Stella got her bit of what I found, and I love the insert. If you go and look, and please go watch How Stella Got Her Groove Back. To me, it's not just about a female. I think it's really something that can speak to both men and women, and where you are, and maybe this is not just about, and thank you, Lord, maybe it's not just about someone you've lost, recent. Maybe this is about someone you've lost way in the past. A breakup or divorce, and it's been years, and it's now you've dove into your work, you've gotten more intense with that. That is your life, and you just can't imagine having a relationship when maybe you're a mom or you're a dad, and that is your life, and you've got a career, and you've got a business, or you've got this life that now you finally got to a place where you feel good about it. How do you let someone in? And so How Stella Got Her Groove Back is a 1998 American romantic comedy drama, filmed, directed by Kevin Rodney Sullivan, and it was adapted by Terry McMillan, again, best-selling author. Love all of her books, love all of her movies. And this stars Angela Bassett. This is where Taye Diggs was a baby. Now Taye Diggs is a man, but this is when Taye Diggs was a baby. And this is truly a movie that just had some big stars like Whoopi Goldberg in it, Regina King, from Jerry Maguire, who's now producing and directing movies. Oh man, she's so good. She's so intense. I love, love, love her. And it's really about a story of a very successful 40-year-old stockbroker who's been raising her son, Quincy, and living in Marin County. And this is in California, who is persuaded by her best friends from college, to take a well-deserved first-class vacation to Montego Bay, Jamaica. As she soaks in the beauty of the island, she encounters a handsome young islander, Winston Shakespeare, just by the name, y'all, just by that name only, who is 20 years younger than her. So she's 40, he's 20. Okay, that's really young. His pursuit of her turns into a blossoming romance that forces Stella to take personal inventory of her life and try to find a balance between her desires for love and companionship and her responsibilities as a mother and a corporate executive. This is a great movie. It just blew up at the movie theater, and it was talked about for many years, you guys. I mean, this is 1998. I mean, this is like literally, I don't know how many years that is, but that's a lot of years, like 30 years, Lord? 9, 10, 11? 25 years, I think, or something close to that. I mean, that's a lot of years, but Terry McMillan had literally released Exhale, and then here came how Stella got her groove back, and it was just a period of time where we were in love with that whole empowering women and women getting their life back and women standing up and women defending their heart and women, you know, standing their ground, but women also finding love and going through changes. Well, to me, this is no different than it is for a man. You know, men go through the same changes and adaptions and things that they have to endure and work through in their heart and their mind when it comes to rebuilding and restarting your life all over or allowing someone to come in. And so what I want to do is I want to get started here, and I'm going to go kind of quickly because I really want to kind of let this really marinate, and I really want to talk to those that maybe this is where you are. One of the very first things I want to make sure to tell you that you got to do before you can get your groove back, your mojo back, have a life again, is you must tend to and heal your pain, okay, your grieving. You must heal and tend to and remove any bitterness, any resentment or anger, or you're going to take that in to the next relationship. You'll have situations where this person's really trying to love you, but because of things that they do, it triggers something in you. It goes to your file system, file number 58, you know, and it's file number 2, where you go and recap a situation that you had where your pain was great, and now all of a sudden you're reacting in this relationship, okay, this one here, based on that experience that you have. So it's so important that when you are trying to rebuild your life and restart again, that you tend to the things that are toxic that will come into a new relationship. And like I said 2 months ago, scars will show up in your relationship. So before you can get your groove back, okay, your mojo, and start a new life, please tend to any grieving, okay, any healing that you need, and definitely tend to and remove any anger, resentment, okay, or any bitterness that you have. Okay, the next thing I'm going to tell you guys, we've got to look at this time in our life is not a redo. No, there's no redo here. This is really about not a restart. This is starting new. Everything has to kind of go like a white, clean slate, like a white canvas. This is about new. I mean, this is what makes this exciting. And don't get me wrong, there needs to be healing, which is why I said tend to that first. But we're talking about that time and that place. As Ecclesiastes says, there's a time for everything. There's a time to live. He said there was a time to mourn, but there's a time to live. And this is about you choosing now to live. You choosing life, not death. You choosing to know that this is not the end, this is the new beginning. And I'm one of those that if you have the ability to restart life, if you've got the ability to start it new, oh my gosh, versus just kickstart something that's already there, to be able to get a whole new thing, that you have an opportunity to now do that, that's the kind of life. That's the kind of life even the word speaks about. You know, and it may start off with you dedicating your life to Christ so that everything about you can be cleansed and immediately wiped clean, and you are new and you are white, which means now anything is possible. everything is possible. And so I want to give you some things right here that I want you to write down. I want you to remember. And you guys, if you're joining me, please, I need you to share this. All I ask is because there's many people out there that we're reaching now, that this may be the message that God's trying to get to them, and he's using you to hear it. And all I need you to do is to hit share. So if you could take a second right now, it's right down at the bottom, and hit share. And share now. You won't miss anything because you'll still be able to hear me. Let's get this message on how to rebuild, how to man, start new, and how God's got a new thing for them. And we talked about that last week, that the Lord's the one who's ordained it, which means he's got something still for you. So here we go. Number one, in this time, because it's a new canvas, it's white as snow, we need to think about who you are and who you want to be. You need to take, like that description said about how Stella got her groove back, an inventory of who you are. But even then, in looking who you are, you need to draw a line down a sheet of paper where on the left you've got who you are, but now we've got an opportunity right now to be able to decide who we want to be. We can change anything on the left. We can get rid of anything on the left. We can enhance it and improve it. Like the Terminator movie, gotta go see it. Have to plug that real quick. Gotta go see it. Okay, you can take anything on there and improve it and make it better. Because sometimes when we're so engulfed in a relationship, or we're married, or we go give up all these dreams for the kids, or the man or the woman, we lose ourselves. We lose ourselves. So that heartbreak, that breakup, that period of time that God has ordained for you to be by yourself is because he says, I'm doing a new thing in you, but let's take inventory of what I've done already, what maybe you did, like God saying you did that, and then making a decision. What is going to be new? Change it, enhance it. Now's the time. This is a good thing. Woo, to be able to renew and do something new. This is a good thing. The next thing, you guys, this is a time to create a whole new you. I'm going to tell you, men, take a look at yourself. Maybe you want to be this man who starts to wear suits now, and you got that Xavier Ortiz flair where you match every single thing, down to the shoe, down to the tie, even down to the cuff link, everything. Or maybe you want to, take it down a notch and be that person that's more casual, and get comfortable, because maybe in this life over here, this relationship, you had to be tightly wound, but now you can just, relax. Maybe it's about, you want to pick up some hobbies, you want to go skiing, or you want to go fishing. This is the time, men, to do you. This is the time to say, okay, I'm going to create me. Ladies, the exact same thing. I'm turning 50 here in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I'm going to sit here and tell you, it's not like I've gotten out of my marriage. But I'm sitting here thinking, okay, it's 50. I'm going down my list, looking at my inventory and deciding that I'm going to do something that I want to do. I've spent 50 years of trying to get through hell, trying to get to a certain place, making sacrifices, had that relationship that I was enslaved. I literally need to sit down and take a look at my life and say, who's Tracy? What is she like? What is she doesn't like? Where is she at? Is she even here in her life? And let's start doing those things. Let's start getting back to those things. Because here's the thing. We do have one life here on earth. We've got everlasting life with our Lord and Savior. But here on this earth, our life, don't you want to live a life that's about you? It's about the things that you want to. Maybe you need to start going to festivals, or start going to concerts, or start going to events, to where now you're really starting to create that person that you truly want to be. Okay, next, realize that in this time, in this moment, there's no strings attached. There's no strings attached. You are free. You've got freedom. There's no limitation, so let's not limit anything. There's anything you can do. The whole issue about Stella got a groove back is because, number one, he was 20 years old and she was 40. And her friends, well, with the exception of one, thought it was great. Everybody else thought she was losing her mind. Now, I'm not saying you go get a 20-year-old girl or a 20-year-old man. Don't misquote TA. But I am saying that if this is your life to choose, and I'm going to go ahead and jump to number 15, then maybe you decide to date somebody completely different. Maybe you take a look at your track record and see what kind of woman you've been attracted to. See what kind of man you've been attracted to. And I'm going to ask you like I would a friend, where has that gotten you? Maybe it's time to date and try somebody completely different, to do something completely different that you've never done before. Don't just take the things that you desire to do. Maybe start looking at things you've never done and start to do that. You know, I love it when I see people, and you can always tell they've gotten to this place, married or single, where they want to go get up in a plane and jump out of a plane. That's them getting to a place where now they don't want any limitations. They don't want any barriers. They don't even want fear to entrap them and keep them from the life of full freedom, of no limitations. I'm not saying you need to go jump out of a plane. You ain't catching this girl jumping out of a plane. But it may be going to Italy, or it may be going to some town. It may be something that you would never do, but why not? And why not now? Okay, next, you guys, make a list of what you've learned about you, your life, and others, and being in a relationship. Not only take an inventory of who you are, but it's important, you guys, that you take an inventory of your relationships. You know, what have you learned in dating this person or the person before? You know, don't just keep going from relationship to relationship and not assess. And as the word says, count the cost. You need to really understand, who are you in a relationship? Do you lose yourself? Do you submit completely? You don't even know who you are. Do you change you? Do you no longer have a voice? Do you take the things that you would normally do and completely try to be about what's going to make them comfortable? What's going to make them feel good? What's going to make them happy? You know, do you respond in a relationship in a healthy way? See, a relationship should be about two people coming together, and then through marriage, they become one. Hope you caught that. In a relationship, it's about two people coming together. It is not about becoming one yet. A relationship is, look, this is me and this is you, and we're going to come alongside of each other to see how this works. And then through marriage, it becomes one. And I think what happens to a lot of us, the reason why those relationships became toxic, or, you know, it ended so devastatingly, is because we submitted our whole identity. We forgot who we were. We became so much about pleasing this person, making this person happy, that all of a sudden, whether we realized we weren't happy, or the relationship got to a point where now a decision had to be made because it became unhealthy. Take a look at how you've acted in your relationships. What's the trend? Is that healthy? Is that about you? Or are there things that you do, again, that maybe even move you into a codependent relationship versus one where it's interdependent? Okay, really think about that, because you'll end up in a relationship. My God, the couples that I coach, you can end up in a marriage where it ain't even about you. It was about all these things that you did to please them, to keep them. Come on, that's a whole nother topic. I think I already have one episode out there that's going viral right now. Okay, I think it's got like 650,000 views. It's already out there. I will post it here if you need it. Just let me know. Okay, this is truly about taking your life, no matter how old you are, okay, no matter how young you are, and making sure that you assess that relationship. Do you respond healthy in that relationship? Okay, moving forward, you guys. Fix the things that held you back. Expand and magnify the things that won you victories. Take a look at the things that you did that won you victories in life. Expand those things. Put fire on those things. But like I said a second ago, when you assess how you reacted, now you got to make a decision to get rid of those things that were not healthy. You can't go into the next relationship not fixing those things, making decisions on those things. And the next time you make a decision, when you have this time in your life, the other thing that I want you to do is I want you to make some declarations. So you've assessed your inventory and how you act in a relationship, good, bad, or ugly. You've made decisions on what things you need to magnify, what things need to go. And then now what I want you to do is I want you to write some declarations. This is a declarations to yourself. It's rules to live by. It's promises that you're going to make to yourself. It's going to be things that you're going to do that are unbreakable. It is going to be promises that you make to yourself that no matter who, what, when, and how, you do not break those promises. It's almost like looking at this inventory and setting up things to protect your heart or to ensure that it's about you. You know, if you found in the relationship that you just never vocalized your thoughts or opinions, then maybe one of the rules you need to write is next time in a relationship, I'm going to speak up when I'm not happy. I'm going to figure out a way to do it so it's not ugly and confrontational, but I'm not just going to sit back and say nothing because I saw when I didn't say anything and I didn't say that I wasn't happy, look at what happened. Look at the trend in the last couple relationships, or look at this relationship that was a long relationship. What happened because I didn't speak up? You know, I had a couple that I was coaching and it was just so devastating when she came to our home and we were talking with her first, me and Quint, and to hear her say that she'd been in a relationship where there was really no affection. No affection. And she stayed in that relationship and she never spoke up because she felt like that would make her a nagging wife. That if all she did was complain and bicker, you know, and just pick things apart, it would make her a nagging wife. Well, let's go fast forward 2 kids later, both of them now becoming teenagers. That's many years later. All of a sudden, she's not feeling loved. She's not feeling attractive. She's not feeling desired and wanted. And now she's at a place where she's now talking to him desperately now, needing love, needing affection. But because things had been one way for so long, he's like, I don't see what the big deal is. Why are you upset? This is how things are. It's because she never spoke up and commanded in the most loving way, expressed her desires that affection and touch was something that she gravely needed. And unfortunately, no matter how many sessions we did, and this girl went to the Lord over and over and over again. We stopped coaching her about 4 months later. She reaches out and says, I just couldn't stay. I felt like I was being choked. Man, that's not how it should be. So that may be one of your principles, that from now on, I'm going to express what I want. Maybe in that courtship, before you get married, make sure you court. Take your time to really make sure that this is a relationship that you really want, not just because you want him or her, but because it gives something to you too. Don't just be a server. Man, this has also got to be about you, because you'll serve so much that your cup is empty. And it won't be about you. And that's not what the Lord wants for you. Take your time to court. Don't be so quick to get engaged and get married and then find out all these issues later. But this is your time to restart. This is your time to go even bigger than that, to do something completely new, to say, I've looked at my inventory and I know I need to write a principle. I need to write a rule, and I'm going to declare it to myself and make this promise to me, Tracy, Casey-Arnold, whatever your name is, that I will not break this. And then I'm going to tell you to even go before the Lord and lay it before him and now make a covenant with him that you won't break it, so that you'll take it serious. Because those desires in you are things that God puts in you to help guide you to the person he has for you. I'll say that one more time. Those desires in you are things that God put in you to help guide you to and weed out even the people who aren't, but to guide you to the one that he has for you. There should be a true acceptance of everything you are. If you're overly needy, that person should be like, man, that's my baby. I like it. If you're over demanding, they should be like, you know what? That's the kind of love I'm looking for. If you're quiet, that should be a man saying, oh my God, You know, she's quiet and she's just, men think that's proper and conservative, you know. It really should be that who you are separately first come together in a courtship side by side, and that it works, and then God takes it and makes it one. Okay, so this is your time to redo that. Invest in you. Okay, invest in you. Man, join some social clubs, get educated, go to seminars, go to workshops, man, go exercise, go hiking, go take ventures and trips, go do things that invest in you, to empower you, to feed you, to nourish you. Man, I am going to say it, and I loved all the things that you read about how to restart over. They talk about, man, get a coach. Get somebody that's going to coach you and help you fulfill this new life that you've written for yourself, and this new person that you really want to be, that's going to hold you accountable. But definitely create a social life, because so many times when we get in a relationship, the social life goes down the wayside unless we've married somebody who is really sociable. And if that was important to you, then you need to build a life where you're being sociable, so that the man or woman that you're going to end up with is somebody who is just as sociable as you are, and y'all can have a social life, traveling and doing fun things together. But right now it's about you. Go have that social life. This is a time to also build your relationship with Christ. Okay, 100%. Okay, you've got a void, let him come into that void. Let him take his rightful spot. Let him have back his own ownership. Dive more into him. Okay, dive into the word. Maybe grab books that, you know, are books that talk about who Christ was. Really get to know him. You know, maybe if you're not going to church, join a church. And if you're not one that says, look, Tracy, I just can't do church because of all these things in the past, then man, do a Bible study. Find Bible studies with other women and men that are gathering together. You know, or partner with 2 or 3 other people where you gather, you know, go from one home to the next and y'all do potluck, you know, or somebody cooks that month. You know, really start diving in and start having fellowship. Start meeting other Christians, because let me tell you, they will be the ones to also protect you. They'll be the ones to speak to you. And boy, are they the ones that when it's time for that person now, you think you've met him, they're also going to be the ones that are going to say, okay, let me tell you what I really think. Or they're going to be the ones that you can bring that person around and really get their thoughts. And remember, if you've got somebody you're dating that you can't bring them around your family, you shouldn't be dating them anyway. Already covered that one. But this is a time for you to really bond, connect with our Heavenly Father and really develop that relationship, because that really should be the foundation. He'll be the one to work more in you, to help you become wiser and smarter, to help you stay committed to your declarations and your commitment to yourself. And he'll be the one to even speak to you through the Holy Spirit to grow you even into your purpose for him. And don't be surprised if you moving into your purpose, all of a sudden, here comes the one that God has for you. I've seen that happen so many times, over and over and over. We're so in pursuit of who we are to the Lord, who we want to be in our heart. We're doing our own thing. That's when I see the one that God has come for you. He's placed in your life. Sometimes when we're out looking for him, we're finding something completely different. We're not finding the one that God will bring to you. You won't have to look for him or her. Okay? And then last, start that dream. Start that new idea that you have, that new company, your new business, or if you want to, you know, give to a nonprofit or be a part of a nonprofit. Start getting involved in serving and giving back or launching something new. You know, I was telling my husband last night, I said, God, I feel like I want to start a new company. Like something in addition over here to WIT Consulting. You know, WIT Consulting is about to celebrate 30 years. I want another company. I want something over here that I can do that really is about tending to women and nourishing women. And so I just started looking at businesses for sale. All the businesses for sale in the Austin area. And I'm like, oh, wow, there's so many of them. Just because, again, I'm turning 50. It doesn't just have to be about you got your heart broken. It could be about you getting your groove back. This could be about you really living life and having a life that is living, not dying, not stuck in a chair, stuck at home, watching TV over and over because you say, oh, I'm older now. Okay, man, the Bible, people were doing it at 100, 120. Okay, life is not over. And the work that God has for you and the life that he has for you is not over. Going and participating and doing things, starting that dream, that desire, launching it, or being involved in serving very much will bring joy and will bring happiness. And again, it's creating a full picture of you doing you so that when that other person comes back, again, who you are, they're going to be able to come right alongside of it. Not you having to sacrifice that in order to be with them, to please them, to make them happy, or to make the relationship work. That shouldn't even be there. And again, here we are, starting new. But this time, it's a whole new you. Create a life that is about everything that you've ever desired. Don't limit God. Don't limit you, because God is in you. This is the time that it's not just about getting your groove back. Maybe it's about getting your groove on. Maybe it's not just about getting your mojo back. Maybe it's about finally having mojo. Maybe it's about that it's time. And maybe this is about that the Lord now says, it's time for you to do you. I've allowed you to do some things. I've taken you through some things. But now let's take a step back. Let's assess ourselves in our inventory. Let's look at how we are in a relationship, good, bad, and ugly, and make some decisions. And let's draw that line on a clean sheet of paper and now create a new life that is full of life, that is full of joy and happiness, dreams, desires, aspirations. It's a life about you. And I guarantee you, that man, that Tay Diggs, or that woman, God will bring them to you. Work on you and do you and create a life that is all about you right now. And all you got to do is just start and step forward. Take a sheet of paper. That's a great place to start. So you guys, I really hope this message blessed you. Okay, again, this is truly about a time and a period that it looks dark, but it's not dark. It looks like it's hopeless. It's full of hope. It looks like it's the end. It's not the end. It's the beginning, and it's on fire. And it's time now to put that fire in you so that you become life and you become fire. And you become who God has already written when he formed you, that you were supposed to be, and never once believe that God doesn't have somebody for you. But our God's a little picky. If it ain't the one that he has for you, he's going to cause havoc until the one that he has for you comes, because he desires more for you. So I love you guys. You guys make sure you get registered right here, on this feed for our workshop to close out this 12-week series, which has been The Beauty and the Beast, the good, bad, and ugly of life, love, and relationships, as we close it out November the 12th, which is a Tuesday night, for the Sex and Intimacy Workshop. Absolutely free. All you have to do is put your email address right here, and we're going to send you a link to get registered so that you can get registered and join all of us for a workshop that I know is very much needed. As me and Quint talked about, there's some things, Lucy, we need to talk about, and some things that we know are going to cause some fires in a marriage and a relationship, you guys, that we're so excited about. And that we know that God says, yes, I have made that and created that to bring two more into one, you guys. So we are so excited. Make sure you get registered, you guys, and make sure you join me next Monday, as I will be bringing the prelude to that workshop. And make sure you join me this Friday for our Word Up, you guys, as I bring the Word and nothing but the Word every Friday, you guys, about 8:30, 8:45 Central Standard Time. I love you guys. Have a blessed week. Let's move into our mojo and our fire and move into the life that is all about you, because God says you're important to me. Now it's time to do you. I love you guys. Bye-bye.